But for me, I think I never. In ECW, I felt really comfortable because we were kind of allowed to just do our own thing, and the pressures weren't on. But I never could adapt to WWE, and it wasn't because of WWE. I think I still carried that Aldo Montoya thing where I was still the young boy, and I always felt that. And I almost, you know, I took it too far where, you know, I wanted to show respect and humility.
Yeah.
But I took it to a level where it's like it sounded like I was beating myself up.
Yeah.
And you know, it didn't serve me well, and I really lacked confidence anytime I went up there. Really, you know, and that's a me thing. That's you know, I caused that. Nobody else did. Really, nobody gave me a reason to. But yeah, man.
The one thing that like I always like thought about you though is once you got in the ring, like you had plenty of confidence. It seemed like that lack of confidence and that negative self-image was something that you had outside the ring. And that like, okay, once you're in the ring, that's where you feel good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, once, you know, and it is funny. It's like once, I mean, I didn't like the entrances. I did it. I did in ECW. I dug the entrances. But when I was in WWE, I never felt like I belonged, like I wasn't the star, you know, and again, that's me. But when the bell rang, I was in my comfort zone, you know, and I knew where I was, you know, I knew how to navigate those waters pretty good, you know. It was, and I knew better. I think it was just a fear that I had, but bell to bell, I was in my comfort zone for sure.
And man, you know, when you're talking about not knowing where that lack of confidence and maybe the negative self-image came for, the thing is though, Peach, is that we really, really need to figure out where it came from, you know, to be able to deal with it. And so, like, I encourage like everyone to figure that out.
Yeah,
and I'm still figuring it out myself, man. You know, but hey, man, I don't know, Pete. I asked you to come on and that like, but I don't want to harp on things that happened yesterday. But have you talked with the promoter that, you know, that incident happened a couple weeks ago? How was that?
I did not. And well, it's not funny, but the funny thing is that I was by a third party just to sign autographs.
Right.
So I never really even had contact with the promoter, which is probably even worse. And to be honest with you, I haven't looked at the footage. And I don't want to because that would probably do me more harm than good.
You don't need to.
So I haven't. I don't need to do that. Yeah, Razor said that too. Scott said that too to me. He goes, you don't need to look at it. He goes, and of course, Scott would say this. It wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't. Like, compared to his, man, compared to that Fall River gimmick, it wasn't.
Sad thing was, I was in Fall River too that time.
I know you were.
That was horrible too. Well, you didn't see the aftermath with me. I ended up.
I was on the phone with you guys that night, if you don't remember.
I don't actually. Wow. Yeah, that was a horrific night, man.
Yeah.
That was horrific. But yeah, no, I haven't spoken to the promoter. And I kind of felt bad. And that was, you know, the sad thing is my intention, I think, and again, I don't really even have a recall because as an alcoholic and an addict, like, I don't know, I mean, if anybody out there can relate, but for me, I'm at the point where I go and relatively compared to what anybody would drink, I think, or what anybody would consume, I relatively consume very little now when I drink because my body just doesn't want it. I just can't. Like, I go from 0 to 100 to like, I don't feel it, blackout. Like it's turned on me kind of a thing.
Yeah, the body stops metabolizing the alcohol properly too, man.
Oh yeah. So my intention wasn't to do anything like that, to be a jerk. Sure. You know, that's not like my nature to be like that, right? That's totally not who I am.